Hello, hello Capricorn. Welcome to your November 2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Capricorn. And before we get started, I just want you guys to know that I have a lot of stuff coming up. I have new services, I have new offers, new content, all sorts of stuff. If you want notifications, sign up for my newsletter so you can stay up to date on everything. And 2020 readings are going to be coming out in December, so sign up for the newsletter if you want to know when those come out. And let's see. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I have a lot more content on there as well. And without further ado, I am going to lay this spread out and then we will get started. Okay, go ahead, take a deep breath into the diaphragm. Just set your intention for the reading. I'm going to start with the oracle cards, but this spread is very different from what I normally do. So let's just see what's coming up with the oracle cards. Sometimes the most enlightened response is fuck off. Amen. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Remember that having any type of spiritual interest or spiritual practice does not mean you lack boundaries. It doesn't mean that you don't advocate for yourself. Those are two separate things. Spirituality and being overly tolerant are not necessarily in the same camp. So don't confuse the two if you can. And then we also have compassion. So this is a good blend, right? You can have compassion and set boundaries. You can have compassion and still raise your standards or have expectations. You can have compassion, you can experience healing, like you yourself can fuck up. You can have compassion for that and still, you know, move forward in a way that's more in alignment with you. All of these things can exist at the same time. It's just a matter of you getting clear on what that looks like for you. And then we have liminal. Breathe through the confusion, discover fledgling inspiration. Uncertain places are where the most exciting visions are born. The zone of infinite possibility calls you into a time of magic. Okay. Really allowing yourself to just kind of accept where you are and knowing that all of the empty space that you have around you is where all the good stuff lives. Now this spread, the way that I've set it up, I have more oracle cards in the center, but it's past, present, future, and then your outer world and your inner world is how I'm doing it. No timeline this month. So in the past position, we have be gentle with yourself, doing lots of healing. I think this is just an indication that you were probably in a place of healing. Anytime you have this gentle feminine energy, that is typically a time when you're in a more of a contracted space and you need to nurture yourself. So let's see what's going on in present time. When you least expect, I wish this said when you least expect it. That's just what I instinctively want to say. But this is just saying right people, right places, right timing. Kind of count on luck and divine timing. Right? When you don't have 100% control of whatever it is that you're wanting, the best thing that you can do is just kind of turn it over to your higher power, God, universe, divine source, let it fall into place wherever it needs to, and not put too much constriction around how it's going to happen or what is going to happen necessarily. Just allow things to come up when they need to. And then in the future position, emerge. See, this is an indication that it's going to pan out. You're just going to need to kind of maybe take your foot off the gas pedal for a moment. Just kind of loosen your grip a little bit. Because if you come from that frantic energy, like you need to hold on really tight, it's actually going to create more friction. So the best way that you can kind of go through this is allowing yourself to trust, which is the active practice, and then knowing that you're going to emerge out of whatever space you might be in this moment. Okay, your external world, so what's happening outside of yourself this month. The Lovers, connection. This is also feeling a lot of empathy. I think this is kind of matching the compassion card, right? So if you're in a situation with people that maybe you have a hard time with, you might be able to soften that up a little bit just for your own sanity, right? It doesn't have anything to do with boundaries necessarily. That's more at your discretion and can be completely separate. But the point of the Lover's card is reminding yourself that the more you can kind of see the connective tissue between all of us, the more that's going to support you in the long term. More than anything, I see this as you witnessing this outside of yourself and using that as a strategy for yourself this month. For some of you, yes, if you've been actively manifesting partnership, it's a good omen for that. So that's only going to apply pretty much if you're actively setting your intention around that. So that's why I don't focus too much on the love, just because it is specific to people who are wanting those connections. And then we have the Five of Wands. Get creative with your solutions. Know that the opportunity to have creative problem solving, be a part of the process, is how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you develop your wisdom. And so whatever challenges might be sitting in front of you, you guys probably know this is my favorite card in tarot. It's that friction, the rough surfaces rubbing together, is actually how you gain traction. That's how you develop your own tools and where you can put them in your back pocket. And then the next time you have an obstacle, you can bust that out and then move forward with it quickly. Know that the Five of Wands isn't a bad card. It's just indicating that you really want to use your energy in a way that's supportive to you. And then we have the King of Swords. I'm going to clarify this one. Okay, so do things your own way. This is the King of Knives. It's the same card. So you have two of them on the table at the same time. Don't be afraid of trying new ideas, doing things that make sense for you, trusting yourself, trusting your knowing, trusting your crown is what's coming up, your crown chakra, your knower. And the King of Knives is ultimately about using your cerebral experience, your mental world, in order to carve that path. So I'm seeing this more as like an advice card. This is just showing you, hey, these are some situations that might be causing friction in the external, but the King of Swords is highlighting this is how you can respond to things in your external world for best results this month. Let's look at your internal world. So we have Page of Swords, being willing to show up and explore new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of thinking. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, getting to work on this and remembering that it takes effort. Whatever you're shifting in your internal state, it's going to take work, it's going to take time, it's going to take effort. And I don't like telling people it has to be hard, because I don't actually believe that everything has to be hard, of course. Although some things are, it's kind of like you want to balance understanding that you don't have to have as much resistance as you might be feeling in the moment. That is one thing that you can actively adjust. But in order to gain a lot of new skills, you do have to do hard things. So that's kind of the, I don't know, the paradox between those two things. Making it as easy on yourself as possible, while also understanding you're not going to get the goods, you're not going to get the gold out of this situation unless you challenge yourself. So this entire month is about kind of forging a path and doing the things that might be foreign to you or challenging to you in order to break through to that new layer and that next level. And then we have the Nine of Wands. This tells me you might be wanting to resolve too many things all at the same time, and it might be scattering your energy a bit too much. What I mean is this card has you cusping burnout a little bit. I'm going to clarify it, but sometimes if you're trying to do like 5 things, or you're trying to change 5 habits all at the same time, you're kind of going to end up half-assing all 5 of them rather than just doubling down on one of them and having a lot of results. So if you feel like you have a mountain of things that you want to shift around internally, whether it be habits or the way that you're handling your emotions or something that you're doing regarding your healing, know that it might be a better option to just focus in on one thing rather than doing them all at the same time. And then 5 of Wands, there it is. It's a problem that can be solved, but you have to understand, like, where is your ego getting involved? Is it saying you need to accomplish everything all at the same time? You need to be 100% already. You need to be on your A game 100% of the time. I'm seeing a lot of perfection come up right here. So the 5 of Wands is a reminder to take a deep breath, relax into the fact that you might be coming up against friction, but that's not a time to punish yourself for not being 100%, because that's going to actually create more obstacles. So loosen your grip around that and know that you're going to get better results if you kind of carry this gentle energy forward into the next changes that you're making. Let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to ask a question, ask for guidance, clarity, support, whatever you might be needing in this moment or this month. And then you're welcome to pick card 1, 2, or 3. Pick as few or as many as you'd like. It's totally up to you. This reading is for you. And card number 1, the Chariot. No matter what, you're going to feel out of control. So the Chariot is a nice card in the sense that it shows a lot of forward progress and movement. But the dark side of the Chariot, if you will, is the fact that it feels like you're going to lose control of those horses at any moment. I don't see this as being real. It's just the perception of, oh my God, is this train going to fly off the tracks? So that's what this is reminding you, that the perception of things being out of control doesn't actually mean that it is, or it doesn't mean that you're not making progress. It's just about the perfect picture surrounding this situation that you might need to move out of your space. And then card number 2, 9 of Pentacles. Enjoy the work and effort that you've put in. Celebrate the small wins. I think that with this perfectionism down here, wanting to just overwork, overfunction, it's saying, hey, if you would just take a moment to celebrate the small accomplishments, or how much progress you have made, or the things that you have done, or, I mean, celebrate everything this month if you can. Because I see that as something that's, 1, going to bolster your confidence, and it's going to put you in an energetic state of gratitude. Both of those things are going to make you a magnet for more. So if you want more, carve out a little bit of time to double down on this. And card number 3, we have the 5 of Wands. Man, this is the 3rd time that this card has come up. Do not fear the conflict. Do not fear the challenge. It is only going to shape you and make you stronger and wiser, and just put you in a position that's so much more supportive than you ever imagined possible. You have to lean into that. If you come from, this sucks, while it might, try to find, like, what are you learning from this experience? What are you going to be able to get out of this when you break through, when you emerge on the other side? What wisdom, what are you going to get out of the friction here? So know that all the goods live in this card. It's the darkest hour is actually what creates the tools and the light and the gifts. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for a bit, everybody. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing. And as always, if you need to work with me one-on-one, you are more than welcome to book a session with me. I am available. So just go to onyxhealing.com or check out the link in the description box for more ways to work with me. I have a lot of good stuff coming up in the coming months. And I also offer more readings on my newsletter, just like little readings that you get sent to your inbox every Sunday. And so go sign up for my newsletter if you're interested in all sorts of content and more readings. And until next time, have a beautiful November, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.